Welcome to WFPC Podcasting, your local source for the heart and history of Pike County, Indiana. And now, here's your host, Randy Harris.
For over 25 years, somebody's place in Petersburg has been feeding the needy. Deuteronomy, and later repeated by Jesus, told us there will always be poor people. The mission of Somebody's Place continues all these years later, and one of the many volunteers is a longtime friend of mine, Fran Lewis. She is our guest today, and we'll be right back with Fran after this.
This is Kyle Hathaway with Hathaway Excavating and Rock Yard. We have the equipment and crew to take care of your earth moving needs, septic installs, and digging out what you need dug out. We also deliver rock, and we maintain and pump septics. We're just a couple miles away. Call Hathaway Excavating at 812-582-2646.
WFPC is sponsored by the Dustin Schnare Agency for Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Dustin and his staff, including Tyler Dillon, are right here in Pike County. It's face-to-face, and they guide you through the process of insurance. Whether it's home, auto, farm, commercial, or life, the Dustin Schnare Agency is here to help. Call the Dustin Schnare Agency at 812-766-1117 or stop in at the new office on State Road 61 at Petersburg. This program is sponsored in part by Dr. Clint Schultz with Schultz Eye Care in Petersburg. Schultz Eye Care offers comprehensive dilated eye exams, contact exams, a huge selection of name brand frames for glasses and sunglasses, and if you buy a pair, get a second pair at 50% off and a year's supply of contacts at 25% off. Schultz Eye Care is an independent office and are open through the week except Tuesday afternoon. The phone number is 812-354-9400. Fran, welcome.
Thank you, Randy.
We're so glad to see you.
Good to see you too.
Somebody's Place. Wow, it's been in operation
since 1999.
That's impressive.
It began at Dr. Fanal's old building / house that he lived in on, I believe that was 7th Street. No,
7th and Walnut,
yes.
Maybe.
And it started there with a longtime person that everyone knows, Aline Grubb, and that's how it
and her sister.
Started. And her sister, yes. And then in 2000...
It was just kind of a food pantry.
It was. That's all they did. They had clothing, but it wasn't very organized, but they did quite a bit there and gave a lot of food away. And
is there... How... Take us back. How did it start?
It started with people just talking that they wanted to have something so people could come and get food because there wasn't any place they could really go without going out of the county to another agency. And so they just sort of put it together. They just sort of prayed about it, and it got put together, and all of a sudden people were donating food. And Aline always tells the story about they didn't hardly have any food that day, and the phone rang, and it was the Moose Lodge, and they had taken up a donation over the weekend while they were open, and they went up and got it and were able to feed everyone in one day. Back then it wasn't a lot of families. I mean, today we may have 30 to 40 families come in. You just don't know it. 40 in the time frame that we're open. You know, we're open on Tuesday from 10 to 4 and Thursday from noon to 5. And some days it's just the cars are just backed up there waiting to get their food order, you know. And it's great because we are so blessed with everyone that supports us, you know.
Who supports you?
Our local churches. And oh my goodness,
individuals.
We have donations, from churches, from organizations, from businesses, and we have several private donors that want to remain private, which we keep that for them. So we're able to do that, and then as the director there, I do all their grant writing, and we've received grants from United Way and Pike County Community Foundation, REMC, Duke Energy, Subaru of Indiana. And
how did you reach out to Subaru?
I found it online during COVID because I was looking to see when it would be, just looking for other avenues. That's how I found the REMC and the Duke Energy one also. And so I just followed their lead and did everything in the grant that there's always criteria that has to be met. And in December, we got $15,000 from Subaru to buy a walk-in freezer for the warehouse.
Fabulous.
And 3 months later, the Presbyterian Church here in town bought a $15,000 walk-in cooler for our facility.
Wow.
We have a lot of churches, lots of local churches that help us out, and businesses and organizations, and it's wonderful. It just is.
I hope this isn't an awkward question.
No.
But I asked Aline this 20 years ago.
Okay.
I said, are you helping people to make the next step, or are you just sustaining what they've got?
We're just trying to keep, I'll go ahead and say it like this, to keep their head above water, because myself and anyone that volunteers there, we don't meet any criteria for trying to go any further as far as finding them employment or things like that. Now, when I am online, if through TRICAP, they will send, or Chamber of Commerce will send jobs that they have openings for. So I print all those out and copy them, and they go in everyone's food order. And then that way they can pick up their food, and then they see in there, oh, look, so-and-so and so-and-so's hiring. And then if someone calls me, then I will talk to them and try to help them out, and
through the SACs, you're a bulletin board.
Yes, we are. But it's a great bulletin board. It really is.
You certainly have passion for this. Aline had passion for this.
I do.
It's an organization, and as we mentioned in the intro, we're supposed to help the poor.
Right, we are, and almost 20 years ago, my whole life changed, and through a stroke that I had, and I didn't get to go back to work. And Dr. Fanal, who was my primary care here, he sent me to somebody's place, and he said, here's exactly the words he used. He said, it'll be good for your soul. And it was, and I showed up there, and I said, no, I'm not going to stay long. I'm going back to work for the state police. And Aline and Mary Collins were there, and just so many people. And I just fell in love with it, and I realized that's what I was supposed to do. I really knew that.
Well, Doc has been on this program. Aline's been on this program. They are big-time prayers.
Yes. We pray before we open the doors every single day. Every single time before we open, that facility will pray. And so we do our best. We serve about 750 families a month. And until recently, I think it was last year sometime, we get food from the Tri-State Food Bank for pennies on the dollar. So we have to follow the rules they tell us we have to go by to get their food. And one of the rules last year in June was you will serve anyone in the state of Indiana, any county. So that's what we're doing. We have a lot of clients from Gibson County, Davies County, DuBois County, Vanderburgh County, Warwick County.
They find you.
Martin. And we're very passionate about that because we give a very, very nice food order. I mean, if you would just come down and see what our folks get. We call them our folks because it's my passion to help them. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And they will come, and then I will say, do you know, feed my sheep over at Washington, you can go there. Oh, I know, but we like to come here because you guys give us more food, and we get to talk to you. Because I work in the office, so I will go out and talk to a lot of them sometime if the weather's...
Your personality.
Yep.
Alleen's personality, it just connects with people.
It does.
And they know when they talk to you that you care about them.
Yes, that's right. And I always tell people that I help, and sometimes they will come in and they're upset because they're having to help out, and I just try to make them feel comfortable. And I always say this to them. I always say, I just want to treat you the way if we turned the table around and I came in and asked for your help, that you would help me. And it makes them feel more relaxed. And because I just want them to come in, and if you need something, ask me, and if I can help you out, I'll be happy to do that.
You just gave me chills on that.
It's just wonderful.
And, you can't get that compassion online.
No.
So it's what a great service.
Yes.
You're all volunteers, aren't you?
We do. We have about 25 volunteers there.
It's hard to get volunteers today.
Yes.
But you're doing okay with that?
We are. We are open on Tuesdays, and I have separate volunteers for both days because I don't want to. I know that you can use a volunteer and use them to where they just get all of a sudden they're worn out and they're burnt out, and so. We have separate groups. Luzelle Carter runs our food room. You probably know Luzelle,
sure.
Steve Carter's wife. Anyway, she takes care of that. But other than that, everyone else we have a different group, except for Nelda Garland. She's our treasurer / director. She doesn't like for me to say that. But anyway,
that keeps some cohesiveness in the...
It does.
Books and everything.
That's right. She takes care of all of that, which she did at Otwell Elementary, so she knows everything. And I just let her.
And you trust her.
Oh, I do. I do. That's right.
It's in good hands.
And one other, I don't want to not mention this agency, which is, I'm going to take off my glasses, which is AES. Mm-hmm. They come every month on the second Monday and help unload the Tri-State food bank truck that delivers our food.
They just send a crew of employees, or
they send 3 to 4 people. Adrian Runyon will call me and I'll say, "Hey, we got food coming the 10th." And she said, gives me 3 names.
Isn't she great?
Yes, she's great. And that facility has helped us, with so much. COVID came and I gave her a call. We needed some help with our old box truck that we had. And I was telling her about it, and I said, I was wondering if AES might give us a donation and help us with, for the repairs on the truck. And she said, what if we just bought you a new truck?
Wow. That's a corporate citizen.
$60,000 later, we had a brand new box truck.
Wow. And
that's just what they did. And anytime we've needed anything, whether it be financially or people that help us out, they're right there. They will be the first ones at our doorstep.
But you still need community involvement.
Oh, sure. And
it's great for that big corporate citizen, big brother, big sister that can help you when you need it. But you need the whole community involved.
And our whole community is just wonderful to us. Every organization, United Way, the foundation, the Lions Club, they want to help us. And it's just the car club. The car club helps us every year, mainly in the fall and winter with money. And they might bring us 40 new blankets for people to have over the winter, And it's just...
No, I'm not saying name drop, but describe who your volunteers are, and I'm going to take this another step. Describe who your volunteers are today. Are they retired people? Are they?
Everyone's retired. I am the youngest one there, and a lot of people would consider me old, but I'm 67, and I'm happy to be there. I'm happy to be that number.
Dylan thinks I'm old.
Yeah.
But the younger people are busy.
They're busy working. Sure.
He's got 2 kids, and
sure.
They're busy.
Exactly.
Getting to where right. So Here's something. And John Craig and I were talking about somebody's place, and he said, do they have younger people involved? Can you reach out to the schools and say, gee, we'll sign off on some hours for you if you come help us? Do you get any of that?
We had 2 boys a month ago that came and did their National Honor Society hours. Yes, we have that all the time.
Wonderful.
And the schools, they have done like can drive things for us. Pike Central has done so many different things for us. Otwell had where all their grades they brought in, and then each grade they weighed how much. Anyway, one grade won, and everybody got a free whatever soda or something that day. But then when they all come, they all get to come and bring the stuff. Well, not everyone, but a lot of them do. And then whenever they come, I always show them around and talk to them. And I explain to them, how we make sure we give everyone food. And so...
Does it inspire them to be involved in this community?
Because I actually had a little boy that lived with his grandmother, and he came for almost 2 years. Every day at 3:00 when he got out of school, his grandmother would bring him, and he got to be there for an hour to help. And he was in the food room, and he would help get sacks ready. And he was great. He was just great, And he did that.
Bundle of energy.
Yes. And when you bring the kids in, they are so excited to be there because they've never seen anything like that.
And they're connecting with different generations
that's
of
right.
people with good hearts
Right.
that they can learn from.
Right. Yes, exactly.
We have, of course, we have our own rabble every now and then, but we're one community, and we're all working toward the same purpose.
We are, and this is everyone that volunteers there is. This is where their heart is. They want to be there, and anytime I need help, here's an example. Today I got a call, and a guy didn't get off work till 4 o'clock, and I said, we close at 2 on Tuesdays. And he said, oh my gosh. He said, well, I have my baby. He said, I'm raising my daughter. And I said, okay. And he said, but I could be there at 4:30 today. And I said, we'll make that work. So the food order is ready for him when he gets there, and then we'll grab the meats and things out of the cooler for him, and we'll make sure because we take care of people. We receive calls. I receive calls at my house, and we go help them out because that's what it is. It gets in your heart, and that's what you want to do.
This program is sponsored in part by the Log Inns Farm, Bed, and Breakfast, just 3 miles west of Petersburg off of State Road 56. It's peaceful, quiet, and you're surrounded by nature in a traditional farm environment. It's nestled in the countryside of a southern Indiana working farm growing grain, hay, and livestock. It incorporates 2 vintage log cabins. Call the Log Inns Farm, Bed, and Breakfast at 812-354-2192. If you are considering buying or selling your home or property, call Harris Real Estate. Real estate is local, and we are too. Over the years, Harris Real Estate has listed and sold hundreds of properties right here. We have clients looking for homes and properties. We know the business, and we know Pike County. 612 East Main Street, Petersburg. Text or call 812-380-1065. There's a lot of summer dust in Pike County, and when you wash your vehicle on a regular basis, you're easier to see. You preserve the life of your vehicle, help maintain its value, protect its paint, prevents corrosion, and it just looks better. It still only takes 6 quarters to get it started or your credit card. That's what it's always been. Stop by Petersburg Car Wash today, 401 South 9th Street, Petersburg. Keep it clean. If somebody is in need and somebody needs your assistance, the best thing to do is stop in Tuesday, Thursday when you're open.
And yeah, just
And
come
you're right
in
there
and-
off of First Street.
Yeah, we're just Locust Street, right down from Huck's. We're just turn there at Huck's and 2 blocks, and we're right there.
And Tuesdays you're open until 2. Thursdays you're open
Noon to 4.
noon to 4.
Yes, but we make sure that we don't want anyone to go without, and that's what I can say is so great, because if I can't be there, one of our volunteers will volunteer and take care of that. We'll make sure they get food because,
You've got a sign hanging up down there saying your volunteers don't get paid, but your volunteers are priceless.
That's right. That's exactly right. They are, because without them, we could not be open.
You've got 25. Mm-hmm. Do you need more?
Right now, we're okay. We really are. We're okay right now, but who knows? Someone might happen to someone in their family where they can't come back. So I'm always taking names, and I've actually got 3 new ones, and they've just been here. They've just started about the last month, and they're great. They love it. They've just started, and they've just love the facility. And we have a retired priest and another minister there, and then Dr. Fanal. So we have that all volunteer there. They all work there. So they all want to volunteer and help out, which I think is wonderful,
That's one of the great things about Pike County.
It is.
Where you've mentioned a couple places, but where all does your food come from?
We get food from the Tri-State Food Bank monthly.
So they just you're on their distribution.
Yes. We have to go to the classes. Like myself, I have to attend classes down there to learn how to give things away and follow their rules. That's like the USDA just announced about all the counties in Indiana could go to any food pantry that they represent and they could get food. And so we get a delivery from them every month. I go online and I go on their website and I order what we can. And it's for pennies on the dollar. I'll say example like a case of Honey Nut Cheerios, 12 boxes. They might cost us $2.49. So that's for 12 boxes of cereal. Wow. So that's how...
That would be $3.50 individually if you went to the...
Yes. So, and then we also get an order every month from Helping Hands in Linville. Once a month, we don't get a pick and choose. We just go down there and take what they give us. And it's always a lot of drinks and usually it's a lot of chips and cookies and a lot of things which we like because we like to be able to give that to our kids, the people that have children. And we always try to make sure we have things for them. And then Helping Hands, Midwest Food Bank out of Indianapolis, the local place here is Helping Hands in Vincennes. And they have a food pantry over there. Anyway, we pick up over there too. So, and then I can't go without saying the JC store here in Petersburg. They are wonderful. They give us maybe 2,000 pounds of food a month. Wow. We have 2 guys that pick it up, and like yesterday, they picked up, I think it was 400 pounds of meat.
Wow.
Chicken, hamburger.
And that goes in your freezer?
And that goes in our freezer, and then that way we can give that out then. And that and the dollar store out by Pike Central, they are so good to us. And both places do not wait until things go bad to give it to us. They always provide it to us prior to it expiring.
They're giving you the good stuff.
They are. And the JC store, I just can't say enough good things about that place there. They're always wanting to help us out, and we might pick up 50 gallons of milk. They have, we got an order for you, and you go down there and there's 50 gallons of milk. But it may not be. It may be dated for 10 days from now, and they were like, we just wanted to make sure you had milk for today, so, which is wonderful.
That gets back to that small community,
exactly.
good corporate citizens
exactly.
who care about each other.
Yes, exactly.
And you don't find that every place.
No, you certainly don't. When I go to these meetings in Evansville, we talk about our local food pantries, and sometimes I get talking, and some of the other communities will be like, "Oh, ours, we don't do anything like that." I'm like, "Well, we live in a small community, so we know everyone, and and when we need help, we just call, and they can help us out or whatever." The road was when we got all the snow. I just made a phone call, and he said, "Oh my gosh, Fran, I'll get that taken care of for you." Mike Boyle said, "Don't worry, I got that taken care of." And just do things for us without even really asking, and
they just need to know the need is
yes,
there.
that's right.
And you've got to remind them sometimes.
That's right. But when you do, they're right there for us. They really are. About any of the facility, anyone that we want to talk to will help us out. And a lot of the members of the United Way Board and the Community Foundation Board, they are big supporters of Somebody's Place, big supporters. And not just the two organizations, but the people themselves and what they want to do to help us out, and which is volunteer or monetarily, whatever you want to, it's great.
That's wonderful. Where do you see this organization 5-10 years?
I don't know, because we have people Patty Gwaltney, she comes there on Tuesdays. She's
been involved since the beginning, hasn't she?
Yeah, since the beginning, and she lives in Vincennes now, closer to her family, but she is 93.
That's great.
And she's still coming there. And we're just so blessed with her. And then Aline, she comes every Tuesday just to come in and say hi. And she's always got to talk to a few people. And then she goes in the kitchen and talks and wants to really just visit all the volunteers that are there, and we love that. And then sometime I'll say, "Oh, I have a question. How do you think I should handle a certain thing?" And she will sit down with me and say...
She's been through it, hasn't she?
She has.
And I'm sure she prays with you.
She does, and she's taught me so well, because when I went in there, I was just going to stay for a month or two until I got back on my feet and then get back to work for the state police. But she told me that she thought the Lord had a different plan for me, and then it wasn't long until I realized that, and I sort of took over all the grant writing and stuff, because they were doing grants by hand, and I brought in a computer that I donated to them, and it was just great. I just love it.
And you have a new passion.
I do. And that's what I'm supposed to be doing. I realize that.
And I'm sure your husband, Kenny, can help you when you
He helps a lot. As a matter of fact, he is our JC pickup guy. He uses his truck, and he's usually down there about 6 days a week picking up stuff, because the JC, we pick up from them about 6 days a week. J.R. Carter he's the manager, yes, and he's wonderful and so caring. And if you need anything, Fran, you let me know, and that's what he'll tell me. And I was like, okay, we're good. So, but everything is just wonderful there. I think I've tried to, they used to come in, before COVID, everyone came in, and there was a room full of everything, coffee cups, furniture, everything. The warehouse was full. Well, when COVID came, John Burns called me, and he said, what are we going to do, because all of the older people aren't coming back? And I said, well, I probably won't be either, because I said I'm not going to...
You had some health issues.
I have some health issues, so I didn't want to be having people come in, and that's when we closed the doors. So they would pull up, and then they would go out and get their name and number in the family, because we have to keep track of who comes there, mainly in the numbers, because we have to supply that then to the Tri-State Food Bank every month, But we closed the doors, and we just started, if a family of 4 pulled up, then we would fill an order for a family of 4. And we would always say, do you have children? Oh, yes, we have, young. And if we did, we always made sure we had things for young children. And so we've never opened those doors, because most people like it like that. They just pull up, and we take out their food, And it's even put in their car for them. Now, me, if I take the food out, I'm saying, hey, I've already loaded this once, so I'll let you do that.
Great.
But
COVID changed everything, didn't it?
It did. It did. But that's what we've done, and we have not went back to that. Yes, it did change a lot, and we lost a few people that volunteered there due to COVID, and but that's just the way it is. Dr. Fanal is just wonderful there. He's always has so much great insight, and plus he works in the kitchen. He's always helping out, and anyone that may want to talk about something, he's always willing to talk to them if they want to.
He is your Renaissance man.
He is.
He knows a little bit about everything.
He does. You're right, and so we appreciate him so much, and but. Like I said, we have received a lot. We are just so blessed. And it seems like when we need something, Aline taught me that when we need something, you need to pray about it. And so that's what we do. We do. And not long ago, we were in need of protein, meat. We weren't getting any from the food bank. And I would be thinking about it at home and worrying. So I thought, okay, I'll take Aline's lead, and so I started praying, and it wasn't long until we were able to get deer from the Department of Natural Resources let the farmers last fall hunt for deer on their property because they were ruining their property, but then in return they had to donate that meat, and so we got hooked up with that, and
they had a treat of venison.
Yeah,
huh?
And so it was all ground into venison, and we didn't pay for anything. And so we were able to get that, and that's been a blessing. And then, like I said, the JC has just made it possible for us to be able to give all those things away.
What do you need from the community, just being proactive, looking ahead? Do you need more people on that waiting list to be volunteers?
I do. Yeah, I think so. I think because we have people come. We don't really have a waiting list right now. Because the people that come in will say, "Do you want to?" I'll say, "What about Tuesday? Would you want to come in on Tuesday?" Oh, yes, I'll come in.
Great.
So we really don't have a list, but we're always taking names and. Yes,
You've got different people to call if somebody's starting to get tired.
We do. And the only thing I ask is, I just ask the people that are there every week, let me know if you're not coming so I can make arrangements, because I sort of take care of all the things like that. And that way I can get another volunteer to come in, and that way we don't, we're not shorthanded then.
But at this point, these are more established people.
They are.
Who know how to work.
Right. And then if we have someone new come in, we have enough other people in there that just show them how to do it, and this is the way we do it, and so it's a rotation.
Yeah,
it is. But my hope is that we can always have a good volunteers that want to work and want to help, and a good group of Christian people too. They're just, That's important to me. It's important to our organization.
It's important to the organization.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Money. Do you get in a pinch sometimes? Do you want people do you need individual donations?
We always need donations. Yes, we always do. We are very smart with the money. We only buy certain things, and sometimes we get in a pinch, and then I will say, okay, Luzelle Carter will say, Fran, we need some hot dogs and bologna, because folks like that. They like hot dogs and bologna. So I'll look around, and then I'll find them, and then give them a call, like I called the IGA down in Oakland City not very long ago, and went down there and picked up, I don't know how many cases, 20 cases of hot dogs and 20 cases of bologna, and they had it on sale. And it didn't come in till the next week, but they gave it to me at the price. And it was a really good price. And I just told them how much I appreciated it. And they said, if you need anything and we've got it, you're welcome to, we'll order it for you. So I really like that place down there. And we've been able to get food, and we spend money, for that. And then our food bill, usually at the Tri-State Food Bank, is usually around $2,000 a month because we order food for the month,
But you're getting that for pennies on the dollar.
Yes. So just imagine all of those items are what we're getting, correct?
The 2,000 might be 20,000.
At least, yes.
That's a lot of food.
That is a lot of food, but I'm going to say this, I'm going to let you know we probably give around an order worth between $75 and $95 worth of food in one cart that goes out to these families, with all the meats that go in it and everything else that, all the canned goods, the cereal, the cookies, the cakes, and the meat. I mean, it's just amazing everything they get. We just want to make sure no one goes without. And then we always have diapers in the back and things for, and we try to keep the cookies and candies for, do you have little ones? And, or I'll go out there and say, oh, one day I gave a little girl something and the dad said, now give that to me. And I said, hey, now make sure you don't eat that. You let her. He said, well, I like that too. And I said, well, I'll be right back. So I come out and gave him one too. So I said, well, we don't want dad to go without. But anyway, we just try to treat everyone the way we would want to be treated, really, when we would ask for help. And that's always been my rock. But Aline Grubb, she taught me well.
She helped instill that, didn't she?
And she taught me, yes. I remember I hadn't been there very long, and I went to Aline, and I said, Aline, we don't have any personal items. And I said, and we always used to give those away when people came inside. And she said, well, we need to pray about it. And I'm like, okay. So she said, come here and give me your hands. And I said, so we prayed. We bowed our heads and we prayed. And within 15 minutes, the door opened up, and it was not Freddie Cat. It was Freddie Cook.
Right.
And Jim Nelson walked in from the Methodist Church carrying big containers of personal items, shampoo, deodorant, soap, toothpaste, toothbrushes.
Wow.
Aline looked at me. She turned around and she said, that's the way this facility operates. It's through prayer. That's exactly. And I hadn't been there a month probably when that happened, because I'm just sitting back there on a computer and I'm doing stuff for them, without realizing a lot of it, just kind of listening and watching everyone, And she said, that's the way this facility is ran. So, and when they built that building in 2007, I don't know if you realize this, but it was put up by an agency, which I don't know who that was, but the complete interior and everything was done by volunteers of this community.
I remember some of those folks going in there to work on that.
Nelda Garland just told me today that her husband would get off work at AES and he would go there for like 3 hours, and they would have a whole crew that worked out there, and that was the day they would all go there, and they would be there for about 3 hours in the evening. She said he hung drywall, he painted, and she said that's just the way it was for that whole facility. People were always in there,
And what a fabulous facility it is.
Yes, it is. But what a fabulous community that we have. That says so much.
Great. Fran, is there anything else we need to talk about today?
Oh, I think we've covered everything.
I think you've done a great job.
I like to talk, so when I start talking about somebody's place, that place is in my heart, so I could talk for a long time. But I think we've covered everything, and like I said, I'm just real happy to be there and just I love helping other people. That's part of what my legacy, I hope that will say someday.
That's what God wants us to do.
That's exactly right. Thank you so much for asking me and letting me talk about some place that I love too, okay?
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of WFPC Podcasting. The program is brought to you by Hathaway Excavating and Rock Yard, Schultz Eye Care, the Log Ends Farm Bed and Breakfast, the Dustin Schneer Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance Agency, Harris Real Estate, and Petersburg Car Wash. Please thank our sponsors, for their continued investment in Pike County. A new program appears each Friday on WFPCpodcasting.com, exploring the people, information, and news right here in Pike County. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for watching WFPC Podcasting, your local source for the heart and history of Pike County, Indiana. From back roads to town centers, we bring you the voices, stories, and news that shape our community. Join us on this journey through the past, present, and future of Pike County, Indiana. Tune in next week for the next episode of WFPC Podcasting.